the monkey show. Here I come with the monkey show. Monkey show. Here I come with the 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 super show. Here I come with the monkey show. Here I come with the show. Here I come with the monkey show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Jungle John Show. Wonderful Robert Leon is here. Robert, sit down. Sit down. And this is great having you again on the Jungle John Show. And Robert gonna perform their songs of Robert Leon is coming. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really a singer. I can be annoying singer, like annoying you. Or maybe making you happy if there's like some other people who are not very much matured. They will enjoy me singing. But if you think you are very mature and you're a very smart musician and I suck, then I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to talk about some politics too today, everybody. Now, politics is very important because it affects and touches everybody's life. Now again, the politics of this country for past at least like 14 years, or could be from the Reagan area. President Reagan appointed the President Bush as a vice president, and then vice president became himself president in like later in the 80s. And Robert, sit down. Don't play music right now because this is very important politics talk. When your time comes, I will call you. Thank you. So after that, President Bush was defeated, and President Clinton, was elected to the office twice. And after that, Mr. Gore lost to President Bush. Now, President Bush was with President Reagan, and this President Bush is President Bush Jr. So President Bush got elected, and then he got re-elected. So this whole thing coming up since the 80s, in the beginning of 80s, and it's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. Republican Party won also in Senate. Senators. There's more Republican senators, and also Republican Party have a majority since the Newt Gingrich contract with America slogan. American people chose to vote Republican, and so in Congress too, there is this Republican majority. Now, Republicans, since they, receive all this power in three branches of government, Senate, Congress, and the White House, they become, a little more aggressive. Hallelujah. Because they want, they think like American people voted them in to be aggressive. So they, somehow went after President Clinton, because President Clinton had of air money and sue the now actually impeach Clinton for some minor relate to sexual fire and penis, and they get home too. And I love Hillary, but she's like so wasn't like a big such a big deal to really impeach the sitting president in this manner. So now I congratulate Republican of their wonderful, awesome power. American people chose to vote them in, and they are in, power. I wish them the best, but at the same time, with my very humble opinion, like they should be taking their power more seriously and instead pissing people Democrats, they are also fellow Americans, you gotta love them too, you gotta use this power as a Republican Party to unite the country, not to divide it. It makes no sense, if you have this wonderful power, help the other party and other people. Now, Democratic Party is different than Republican Party. I'm not Democrat and I'm not Republican, so because I am from Pakistan originally and happen to be in this country as this country's guest. So what I observe, this is my opinion, is nothing personal. I love America like everybody else does. So sometimes, Democrat has more legitimacy. They're more legitimate sometimes Democratic Party than Republican because for a number of reasons, the biggest reason is Democratic Party is diverse. There's the Spanish caucus, there's Black caucus, there is a mixture of, different, a background, nationality, or so to say. On the other hand, Republican, mostly very nice, wonderful American, which is wonderful, great thing. But if, the wonderful Republican Party and President Bush and other senators and people like, high power controlling all these three branches of government, just extend the hand to minorities, to Democrat and unite this country, I think the country is always is united, is wonderful, but this was my little humble suggestion. And thank you very much listening to this segment. And now Robert the Muffler is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Go. Awesome. Thank you very much, Robert. Thank you for your participation in this show. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to clarify that we are not goofy. I am not goofy. Goodbye. Ah, ah, Hey, everybody, Robert, the new generation. The new musician, the Robert, the muffler.
I am the traveler man. I am the traveler man.
Robert, come on over here. You're blocking the camera. Can't see me. Yeah.
The best things in life are, the best things in life are real, but you can't keep up all the birds and bees. Don't give me money. Oh, that's what I want. Oh, that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. Money don't get you everything. What it don't get, I can use. Now give me money. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh, lots of money now. Lord, yeah, I get it now. Oh, yeah, lots of money now. Oh, yeah, lots of money. Oh, that's what I want. Yeah.
Awesome, blossom.
This was more solid.
Awesome, and everybody is blossom. How is everybody feeling? Jamming. Don't talk to me. Talk to your mama, you stupid. Hallelujah.
Morning bound. Morning bound. Use my song. Use my water. Use my sun. Use my sun. Use my sun. My sun. I don't get blue because there's a lot of chaos in the world, you know.
Also, audience, if you guys have any medication, people who are watching,
Honey lemon tequila.
and you're not supposed to talk, I should only be singing. You know, my shows are not without confusion, without concentration. Robert, D. So let another song, Robert.
Hey, Mr. Muffler Man, how about sing me? How about singing me a good old song?
No, cut that. Ah. Excuse me, Robert. Relax, baby. Robert is my brother, by the way, and we usually talk about tips. Like, in my show, I tell and give tips to people, and today's tips is power of focus. No, a lot of time in life we, you know, like stuck. Very, 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 very common issues. Job stuck. Lots of people don't like their jobs. They want to do else, but they are stuck. And some people lucky to have jobs they love. Relationship, you can end up, stuck up with some person that you don't want to be with. And some other habits, like just simple bad habits, which actually is the origin of this stuckness, like you can't really move forward. And there is bunch of reason, and the biggest reason is lack of focus. And I have a book under my app, and I want to read some verses out of this book, which actually talks about bad habits. Now, more people than ever are living for immediate gratification. And that means, like if you are hungry, you don't want to wait and you want to quickly eat. If you are like sexy and just and it's just a plus I mean, if you can afford like that, it's not that bad, but again, they buy things they can't really afford and put off payment as far down the road as possible. Cars, furnitures, appliances, entertainment system, or the latest toy. Just to name a few, people in the habit of doing this have a sense of playing catch up all the time. There's always another payment next month. This often results in working longer hours or taking on an additional job just to make end meet. Create even more stress. Taken to an extreme, if your expenses constantly exceeded your income, then what happened? You become confused. You will have the ultimate outcome. It is called bankruptcy. Chapter 11, chapter 7, chapter 13. Here's what you need to really understand. Life will still give you the consequences whether you like it or not. Isn't the issue. The fact is, if you make a mistake, God will punch you in one split second. Or maybe not, because God is loving, so He won't punish you. Maybe that's the devil's job. Anyway, this is part of this show, reading you some verses from this book. And this book is Power of Focus. So stay focused. Here I come with the monkey show. Here I come with the two-penny show. Here I come with the monkey show. Here I come with the two-penny show. Hallelujah. Robert is here, everybody. Robert, go, spirit.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of lonely pretty time. Heartbreak Hotel. I said, my baby's so lonely, baby. My baby's so lonely. My baby's so lonely, you can die. Well, the bell house is kicking in. The mushroom pies are the best. I always find time to remember you are the one who can. Oh, baby, so lonely, baby. She can die.
What a wonderful job, Robert. Incredible musician, unlimited, wonderful #1 songs. Congratulations, Robert. Again, audience, I have a few things to read you again from this book called Power of Focus. Basically, to improve your life in many different ways, you need a focus. And the focus is very hard to focus when you have like issues but you have to do your best. And I'm gonna read you a few more things which talks about developing successful habits. And that's where you're gonna get out of this stuckness. Or maybe I have to get out of this stuckness. Anyway, we all can get out of this stuckness, and then we won't be stuck up anymore. Do you like stuck up people? No. Would you like to be stuck up people? No. Exactly. No. I don't want to be stuck up. Never, ever. My mom was stuck up. So, to get out of this stuckness, you have to accumulate successful habits. So the question is, how long does it take to change a habit? The most common answer to this question are about 21 hours. Could be 21 days and could be 21 months, and that's a little longer. It should stay like within 21 hours or 21 days. Or put it this way, 3 to 4 weeks. This is probably true for making small adjustment in your behavior. Here is personal example. I remember losing my key on regular basis. At the end of the day, I parked my car in the garage, marched into the house, and tossed my keys anywhere they happened to land. Later, I'd be going to meet and, of course, unable to find the keys. As a treasure hunt for my keys took place, my stress level would noticeably increases, and after the key were finally found, I rushed off to my meeting 25 minutes late, on an attitude that would not be described as positive. The solution to this recurring problem was simple. One day I nailed a block of wood to the wall, faced the garage door. It had 2 holes on it and a large label that says keys. The next evening I came home, strolled past my new parking spot for the key and tossed them in some remote corner of the room. Why? Because that's what I always done. It took me almost 30 days of forcing myself to hang them on the wall before my brain get the message. I guess we are doing something different now, and new habit was finally formed. I never lose my key anymore, but I took considerable effort to retain myself. This was really a long, helpful hint, and ladies and gentlemen, Robert, it was very honored to have you on this show and everybody else. Robert gonna wrap up this show and thank you very much tuning into John Khan's show and you have a wonderful, wonderful days.
I eat my pies for the crust. For there is love prefer the last. I eat my pies for the cherry, and then I go with my Mary. Yes, then I go with my Mary. That's when 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 I go with my Mary. And then we all play games till midnight. We all play by the rabbit style. We all play by the snake's head. And at the end of the party, at the end, at the end, it began all over.